And we're live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to IT Career in Australia live stream. And tonight's topic is how to stay on top of your health as a busy IT professional. Thank you so much for finding some time this evening to join our live discussion. Please make sure to introduce yourselves in the comments. Let us know what you do and join our conversation with your comments and questions. If you're new to my live show, I'm Jana Martins and I've recently entered IT career myself. So I'm passionate about learning more and also share my new finding on this YouTube channel. So tonight we're going to talk about how to stay on top of your health as a busy IT professional. And Kanika is going to share her story and her experiences, the challenges she faced during her IT career and how she's staying on top of her health. And recently, she even moved in the health industry herself and gonna share her valuable insights and also talk about her new book and her new startup that dedicated to the health in IT industry. So it's incredibly relevant topic now, especially in the post-pandemic world. Then so many people, I guess, hasn't adapted to the changes, and now we need to go back to office again, or don't need to go back to office. So there is a lot of confusion in the air. So make sure to ask as many questions as you want, and just stay on the topic. Yeah, so stay on the topic, and we try to answer majority of your questions. Before I pass it all over to Kanika to introduce herself, just want to remind you that we are going live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. To watch the replays, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, IT Career in Australia. I'm going live there every Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Melbourne time, with various experts from my network. And we're talking about all things about IT career, job search, and specifics of IT industry in Australia. You can also join my meetup group to make sure you get notifications about upcoming discussions. And also, always encourage you to use this live stream not only as opportunity to learn new information, but also to network with the people in the industry. So again, don't be shy. Say hi to us, and prepare your questions. Brian is here. Hi, Brian. Thank you for joining us. Abdul is here. Ashish is here. Hey, Yana. Hey, Kanika. Looking forward to great insights. Perfect. Few people joining us, so that's enough of me. Kanika, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
This is my third time, actually, I think, on Yana, your live stream. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. It's funny that every time I've been on your live stream, I've had a different topic, and it's been in the context of what I'm doing in my life. I'm a health tech entrepreneur. I am building a calendar, a smart calendar, which is backed by machine learning that helps people find time for their health. And I'm also an author. I recently published my first book on Amazon. It's called Stronger Than Yesterday. I've been in IT for 18 years now. I've played different roles and stints in many companies, including Google, Microsoft, as well as my startups like Perfecto and Amplitude. So that's just a little about me. I am very excited to, and Yana just reminded me I have a lot of content for tonight, so I just need to make sure I can give as much value to everyone joining this call, because that's really what I'm passionate about health, and that's what I want to do.
Thank you, Kanika. I'm just gonna also quickly post the link to your book in the comments, so people can go and check it out as well. And so, Kanika, while I'm doing that,
it is ranked number six right now, worldwide in health and fitness.
Perfect. Here we go. So I'll just post it while I'm doing that. Kanika, just question for you. Why are you so passionate about this topic? Why you, I guess, shifted into, some health entrepreneurship from IT industry? What was the motivation behind it?
I think, Yana, some of these things, lie very deep to the kind of person you are. I had met with a very serious accident, a life-threatening accident in 2003, where I was in coma for 15 days, and it was a very challenging period of my life. And having come out of it, I probably hadn't, I probably healed with my physical wounds, but the trauma had left behind a lot of impact to who I am. And in the journey of healing my mind as well as my physical self, I found a lot of, I would say, truth by lived experience, which made me so passionate about this topic. And last but not the least, I think there is nothing more powerful than understanding your purpose. And I wouldn't really say that, finding my true health is my purpose, but being able to help others to find the same potential, I would say just gave me a new meaning to my life.
Yep, no, definitely. And look, um, and I hope, like sometimes I hope that people realize they don't need to go through like some extreme
Yeah.
experience like that to understand how important their health. Because sometimes I think, the people kind of forget about it and take it for granted till something actually, happens to them. And I think it's a reminder for everyone. You don't need to go through extreme experience in your life to start value and being grateful for your
Yeah.
health.
Yes, and if I may add one thing, Yana, the first time I announced on LinkedIn that I am doing something on health, I remember someone coming and sharing with me. I wouldn't name the person, that I'm so happy that you're doing something on health. And I was like, why? And he says, Kanika, I'm like, about to retire now, and I couldn't sleep without melatonin. And I had to go through, a huge exercise, because I had ignored sleep for such a long period of time. And he did like master class, and he did a lot of stuff, and it's great that he can sleep properly now without taking melatonin. But we kind of make compromises in the hustle of getting work done or getting our goals. And at a very late stage in life, we reach a point at times, and I hope that it doesn't happen to anyone, where we realize that some things can't be fixed.
Yep. So how not to, I guess, get to this point? Because at the end of the day, everyone wants to be healthy.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't need too much data, but Google, I just looked at Google Trends and saw that Google search queries for fitness apps grew, by 40% in just 2022, year over year. So I'm sure that I don't need to tell you, Yana. You're a very fit person, and everyone else around, that there is no one. If you go and ask the question, do you want to be healthy? The answer is, of course, I want to be healthy. So I don't think anyone would probably say, no, it's all right, I can live without being healthy.
Yeah. And Kanika, what have you noticed? I guess, you're saying in 2022 was such a rise of, all this fitness app and stuff. So do you think something has changed during COVID? Do you think people has some sort of realization, or, what's been the biggest change in the last 2 years?
So of course, I think you said it yourself. The pandemic was a huge reason why things changed for us. And there is a very interesting report, which I would recommend everyone read. It's Gallup's State of Global Workplace. It actually came out last week. It talks about how the modern workplace is actually broken, and 60% of people are emotionally detached with their work, and 19% are actually miserable. A lot of it, and again, there are many things we can dive deep into on why we are where we are, but the world wasn't ready for the hybrid model of work. And I'm sure everyone on this call who has has been working in the hybrid model would know that when you work from home, the number of hours you work and the line between your work and your life gets really blurry. And 69% of employees, and this is a Forbes report, face burnout when they work from home. This is global data. Different countries are different. And again, the Gallup report provides the statistics. And another last thing, Yana, it's not that as colleagues and managers, you don't want your team to do well. Everyone wants people to be mentally and physically well. But when you're thrown into situations like remote and hybrid, there are not enough tools that were ready for the situation. And with the number of VC investments that have happened in health tech, it's a proof that world needed more technology to fill in the gap for what has happened. So to your point, why has suddenly health has always been important, but why has there been a sudden rise in is the pandemic? And again, I have a few other hypotheses around why we are where we are, and I'm happy to share that.
Yeah, definitely, Kanika. And I think, you're really spot on the point that it's been like so sudden. Some people just been thrown to this remote working arrangements. It's not like, we're not saying that working remotely is unhealthy, but the thing that, people suddenly needed to change their lifestyle, but maybe didn't have enough tools to do that, potentially, cause some health issues as well. And I guess, there are a few challenges there, even if there is like so many online advice and videos and so on, but there is definitely a few challenges that we need to overcome,
Yes.
To get there. And I think you wanted to point a few, I guess,
Yes, and I'll keep it very brief because I don't think this group will need a lot of explanation. But in my research of building the modern health, which is the product I am building, I looked at what is making what's driving this, right? And the broad three things that came to my research. Number one is the fact that there is a rise in a lot of bullshit jobs. And this is not my theory, but I don't know if has anyone heard of David Graeber, who he actually published about bullshit jobs for the first time in a magazine called Strike, and that got a bit of excitement from even the economists. But it's really, the question is, with even despite the rise of automation in a capitalist society, have we seen really more time in our lives? Ashish, you work in a bank, and I'm not familiar with everyone on this call, but I'm sure you work in organizations which are heading towards highly automated state. So if you're highly automated, why is it that we still have a 5-day work week and not a 4-day work week like Finland? We should have more time, right? Like, if the world is going to robots and artificial intelligence, give us the time back, but we are still busier. And the hypothesis behind that is jobs and the titles and what people have to do is being created. So I'll stop over here because I would love for you all to read about this. It's an interesting article. There are lots of videos on it. In fact, David has a beautiful talk on YouTube, which you could go and check out. But that's something that I believe it makes it really hard, because if you're in a bullshit job yourself, it's very hard to change your frame of mind. And I've coached a few people in the last 1 year, Yana, who've been in like jobs where they felt they had no purpose. Sometimes there is no silver bullet. Like there's nothing that you can say except find another job. And that's like my first hypothesis.
Yeah, and sometimes, even if not all the jobs feel like bullshit, there could be some task that
yes, of
feel
course.
like
of course
might feel this way. So so guys, definitely check out the David's video if you haven't done. Smail is also joining us. Hi, Smail. And And yeah, maybe share with us if you felt like you've been in one of these bullshit jobs.
Yes, I'm very very keen to hear if anyone feels not themselves, but they've seen people in bullshit jobs. Like I've been in a few networking events where, if I would say, hey, I'm an author and I do this, and someone would say, oh, I really don't do much, and I go, like, sorry, like, I'm sure you do something, and then you speak to them and you realize that, um maybe they have a job where they're just writing documents which are very meaningless to write, and they don't really have a purpose. Anyway, this could just be topic for an entire different webinar, Yana.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But yeah, let's move on. Like what else causes, so much trouble with our health these days?
Yes, I think the rise of consumerism, the number of options you have, it's endless. If you don't know what to do tonight, you probably just haven't done enough Google search to see what's around you. You could buy something, you could. There's Instagram, and then there is YouTube, and then there is like tons of stuff to do. So the rise of consumerism makes it even harder for the human brain to pause, and I don't I read a book by Neer Ayal, which is about habit forming apps, and all these apps, like all the social media apps, they are making us addicted to consume more and more. So consumerism makes it even harder for us. And if you look at these 2 points and then you see the last one that I'm going to talk about, I think you will understand why we are where we are.
And I think I really like, Kanika, that you mentioned, there's so many social media, platform that create this kind of habit of us keep looking at this platform. But not why we're not creating fitness habits instead and creating, habits of looking on social media. And I
It,
think that's the
it's
explanation is actually in your next slide.
Yes, and I'll just take 30 seconds to tell you, in the same book by Neer Ayal, where he talks about habit forming apps, he actually gives a lot of examples of how fitness apps have not been able to do that. For example, how MyFitnessPal, while it is a great app, it struggled to actually get engagement with the product. While you think your Facebook is so sticky or Instagram is so sticky, do you think you check into MyFitnessPal all the time? No one does that. So another problem that is there is that health apps have not really found, and there are some good ones now. Like I would say Headspace is pretty good, but it's still not that sticky that you would want to meditate every day. It doesn't get you to do that. And the last thing, of course, and if you're rolling the slide, Yana, again, I've spent a bit of time for this presentation because Yana gave me this lovely opportunity. So here's another research that was done in Canada, where the output of the research was humans are lazy. They made volunteers walk in a pattern which made it strenuous for them to walk in the way they had walked for years. And it took them just a couple of minutes to change the way in which they were walking. So habits that were formed over a period of time got thrown away out of the window just because humans are lazy. So now you put this in perspective. You probably are in a stressful job situation and you have so much of rise of consumerism and options around, and then you get to 6 o'clock. Do you really want to go for a walk, or do you want to watch something on Netflix? You have your answer. So I'll leave it at that. I think everyone's smart enough to understand the reasons behind where we are.
And I think, when you would talk about the humans are lazy, to be honest, I start thinking about, animals. Animals is lazy too. They just have to move because otherwise they they stay hungry or will be eaten. So, sometimes we just don't have this enough external motivation to actually do something. Look at the cats at home, they do nothing.
Yeah, and look at the people watching cats on Instagram. They do nothing as well.
So the nature is not actually, like, unless it's give us like external signals, we kind of, like to just save the energy and try not to do much. Ashish has some comment regarding, the bullshit jobs. Spot on. Where a lot of bullshit non-productive tasks we do every day in a big enterprise. The same kind of productivity can be achieved within 4 days a week if
Yeah.
we cut down all bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ashish, you must then definitely watch the video of David, because that's what he says. He says, if we are not doing bullshit jobs, then why is it that we still have a 5-day work week? Because you should give the time back for people to do whatever they like, and that's work-life balance. And that's why I fundamentally believe that the problem, and I'm skipping a few slides, Jan, I'm sorry, but the solution of the problem is really time. That's what you need to manage for your own health and for your own self to get the control back.
And I think Kanika was like some video you wanted to share as well.
Yes. So I think the reason why I wanted to share the video, and I'll let you play it. It's
Do I need to play it first,
video.
or you tell me why? Why? Okay, let's play it first, I guess. Where is it? Let me find it. Okay, here we go.
When I first arrived here, I did find it quite scary. I found it quite isolating. I was about to be a new mum. I was in a new country. I'd got no extended family here. It was just me and my husband, who was at work every day. You know, it's a really important part of anybody's life to feel part of a community. I'm a strong believer in that. So I went to the leisure centre, and of course, when I saw all the facilities, it far surpassed anything that I'd ever been used to. Just going to the cafe and having a coffee, sharing that time with the children, having a little chat about how their morning had been in creche. And I still do that to this day with my youngest, because it's just a nice part of the day. Husband works away a lot, so it becomes even more important that I get to go to the gym, that I get to have my time, not only so that I'm physically healthy, but also it's trying to keep that balance. So a group of the mums from school have recently established a netball team. So we're playing netball at Craigie on a Monday evening. Some of us haven't played it for years and years, that includes myself, but we are really all enjoying coming together, having a good laugh, having a good run, and building our confidence in something that we all thought was, well, not something we would do anymore. What's my why? I don't want to think that taking time for myself is a selfish thing to do. It's not. It keeps me fit and healthy mentally and physically. So it's the best thing for me. It's the best thing for my husband, my children, and the community that I'm so passionate about.
Right. So I really feel that it's very important to find the why of why you want to be healthy, and not look at the time you're giving to yourself as being selfish. A lot of times when you take that time out for a walk or go for a swim or go for you feel, I'm giving time to myself, I'm ignoring work. You don't know, you don't know your why in that case. And I think I couldn't have articulated it better than her, so I just thought we'd play the video.
But yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes we talk about fitness, exercise, or work as a pleasure activity, instead of just keep working and keep making sure we finish this report, or finish this deadline and meet this deadline, and don't look at the fitness activity as something that can probably give us energy to finish it in time, rather than just keep pushing and keep staring into the computer.
Yes, and we'll talk about micro changes and examples in a bit, but I'll give you an example. I'm building a business. I have a lot of VC meetings. My calendar was packed today, and I knew that I really had to recharge myself to be fresh with you, Yana, in the evening. And I went and did a 20-minute sauna today because I know sauna makes me feel really good. And yeah, someone would say you took 20 minutes in the day to go and do sauna. And I would be like, well, that makes me ready for the evening and be more productive for the day. So I guess you have to find your why, is all I'm saying. And I know someone in the live stream today had reached out to me that they have a sales job, and they're very curious on tips. I think the first thing I would say is you just have to somewhere on a post-it write your why very clearly, and then naturally everything will happen.
And I guess, we've been talking so much about health, already for, 25 minutes. But, what is health? How we actually define health? Because there's, I guess, so many components, and everyone can look at the health differently. For someone, it's maybe just not having any, I don't know, diseases. But what is health, Kanika?
So health is a state of mind and body, and where you're able to use your body and mind well, right? That is health. And what's very important to understand is that consumerism has made health become going to the gym or having a Peloton or doing yoga. Health is just being able to move your body properly and being able to use your mind well. So it's mind, body, and spirit. And each one of us know inside us what works for us with respect to our mind or our body or our spirit. Like, I know people who don't like going to the gym but probably would like to go for a swim or play with their kids. Or I know people who for mindfulness may listen to white noise, someone would meditate, or someone would just listen to good music. And all I'm saying is we all know these answers lie inside us, but sometimes consumerism makes us feel being healthy is doing a particular thing. But I like to remind everyone that health needs to be holistic. You need to be taking care of your body and your mind every day. And honestly, that's the fundamental job you have as a human, to take care of yourself.
And actually, I'm one of the guys who's on the call with us today. Do you think you want to be healthier? If you look, on your state of health right now, do you feel like you want to be healthier? I'm just curious to know. Is it certain, I don't know, a certain degree of health we all wanted to achieve? Or you feel like I'm fine, nothing hurting, I'm fine, as long as I don't have a pain in the back, I'm healthy. So what it is for you, like where you at, you think, with your health? So would be actually curious to hear. And Kanika, I guess there is so many health advice out there, so many apps, as you said, like with the consumerism, there is so many suggestions, go to the fitness club, do yoga, do Pilates. But where do we start? Like someone who haven't been, I guess, that active, or maybe didn't do the research on the health as much, there's so many options. How you would recommend to start with all these options?
I think the easiest way to start is to look at your calendar, your work calendar, and block some time to make sure that you are having your lunch while you're at work on time. Make sure that you are having 1 to 2 liters of water, depending on the weather. I would say 2 liters of water every day. Mark that somewhere for yourself. And again, I don't prescribe any sort of exercise, but I call it movement. And I would say you should be doing 30 minutes of physical movement in a day. And you should start with your calendar and mark that this is something that I need to do. So you don't need to do too much research. I'm very sure all of us know how to go about it. The only thing that has happened is, depending on where you are right now, right? Like when I was when I started my health journey 5 years back, I had gained 25 kilos weight above my body weight where it should be, and I had to lose that. And depending on your goals, those your calendar could be different, but let's just assume everything is perfect, because I like to assume that everything is perfect. If everything is perfect, let's just get our meals on time. Let's walk for 30 minutes. Let's have water. Let's be mindful when we move from one meeting to the other, and you're good. So start with your calendar.
And I guess, I think a lot of people think straight away, oh my God, what if I block the lunch and someone will squeeze meeting in it?
Yes, and when I was researching for the product I'm building, that was one of the things that people actually said happens in a large organization is you block your calendar for lunch, but someone else doesn't know that this is your lunch block, and they would override it. Well, that goes back to how you want to manage your time. You can politely remind the person that it's your lunch time, or if you have time afterwards, you can have your lunch. I actually feel there is one tip that I give to everyone is if you have pre-prepared lunch for yourself, the chances that you are not going to skip a meal is higher, because you won't let that food get wasted. But if you had to get up from a meeting and then cook for yourself, the chances that you would not do it are higher. So one of the tips that I give to people is do your meal prep at least for your lunch and make sure your lunch is ready. And then when you have that calendar block, even if you get lesser time, you will have your lunch.
Yeah, definitely. Even if you try to prepare the night before, it's something maybe you cook with your dinner. Maybe when you cook your dinner, you prepare your lunch as well.
Yes, and again, going back to the calendar, I would say if you were like me, I actually mark my meal prep on my calendar because I don't want to miss it, because I know it impacts the whole week. So there are 2 days in the week that I do my large meal prep, and then I have smaller stuff, and it's marked in my calendar. And of course, it can move if some things happen, but I know that that's the time I need to give for my food, and it is absolutely all right to do that.
Yeah, and it's definitely, I guess, coming back to the few things we talk about, that human are lazy and things like this. When you have this little external motivation, this little reminder, it sometimes it does make a lot of difference. I always talk about example when I was I always wanted to do some exercise or yoga or stretching in the morning and couldn't make it my habit. It took me some times. And I'm like, some morning I will do it, some morning I will forget it. And, in the beginning, I was really struggling to, creating habit. And what I did, I actually bought myself a really nice yoga mat and I put it in the middle of my living room. And basically every time I wake up and, walk into my living room to, start preparing breakfast, I would just literally bump into my yoga mat. So I just didn't have any, excuses, because it was right in my face. So, and honestly, yeah, it might take me, a few months to build up consistency, but this external kind of motivation, this external subject that was right there in the middle of the room, really helped me to build this habit. Now I do it, I don't even think about it. I wake up and start doing it. It just so embedded in your mind when you've been doing it for a while. So, and that's the hardest, challenge, to start creating this habit.
Yes, and I think another thing with fitness is sometimes people don't know what they would like always. I know, Yana, you like surfing and you like yoga, but a lot of people don't know what they will like, right? So one of the things that I recommend is just try and do many things and you'll bump into something that you really like I bumped into weightlifting, which I really like, and now I'm addicted. But before that, I tried a lot of things, and you just have to keep that, as I said, calendar block that I'll just do something today, you know, and eventually you will figure out what you really like. And that goes to my next point around just, we all are so different that nobody can give us a way to change ourselves in like, on a plan on paper. It's small changes that you would make. Like, Yana, you made this really, I call it micro change. So you made a micro change of putting that, pretty yoga mat, and it gave you a macro gain, and you just need to understand how you apply those micro changes based on the context. And I'll give you an example, Yana, and anyone on the call can try this. If you have a very packed and busy calendar, and if you put a reminder for yourself on that day to just go for a light 15 minutes walk, and instead of starting your day with coffee, start your day with coconut water, you might have a really busy day, but you would still sleep well. Like, there is science behind it. So again, I'm not asking you to start making a long sheet of micro changes, but I'm saying each one of us understand what makes us feel better. You just need to use that based on where you are, and I have a few other examples to get the macro gain. So this is where I believe the shift needs to happen in the world. Health has become very boring. We kind of think, oh, healthy food, oh, have to go to the gym, oh, why can we not start looking at health as a strategy to win? If I was on top of my health, I would have the best performance, would probably work smarter, put lesser number of hours, and still be able to give my organization the value back. When you make that change for yourself, again, a micro change, the perspective changes. I'll give you 3 micro changes, which I would love for you all to try, right? If you had a really busy week and you haven't been able to give time to your family that entire week because you've had like back-to-back meetings that have gone on late, if I give you a recipe which you could actually prepare with your kids and with your family, I'm telling you, you'll end the week really well because you've got good food and you've got social engagement going with everyone in the family. Similarly, if you had a very busy day, or you've probably, Yana, not slept till 11 p.m. because you were submitting like a proposal, or Yana probably was managing some account and it was stressful, or she was taking care of something. If something like that happens, there's a breathing exercise called box breathing or pranayam. If you started your day with that, you actually will feel less exhausted and be able to like move through your day really quickly. The last one I will give you, and this is actually my super energy tip. If you keep your grains, the whole grains that you eat in the day, to 1/4 of every meal that you eat, you actually will feel more active throughout the day. It's just about measuring and knowing how much grain to eat and how much food to have to be more productive. So now I have made the same topic of let's just go and have some, lesser rice, let's just say, to, hey, it's just 1/4 of the meal. And if you keep it that way, you would be more active. It becomes a productivity conversation. So what I am encouraging each one of you to do is don't look at health as something that is boring, that I need to, if you started all your meals with a salad, which is fiber, you actually feel better at the end of the meal. It's science, right? Now, if you brought in those tips to your life, you become a high performer. I'm telling you, if I told you I could make you a high performer in 3 months and you have to pay me X amount of dollars, people would be like, yeah, there you go. But just because I say I'll make you healthy, they go, oh no, this is about diet, you know. So my biggest tip on this call, like second biggest, one is the calendar, and the second is figure out what are the micro changes you can make in your health lifestyle that can manage a particular workday, you know, and then you put productivity and efficiency in the middle of it and create a plan for yourself.
And kind of like spot on with all these things, especially, you know, with the perception of, you know, health being something boring. And I think like most of the time people feel like, you know, it's too overwhelming, you know, then they need to, you know, use some particular diet and they feel like, oh my God, it's too much. And people try to do this like complicated diet for a week and they just drop it. Or they think they need to go to the gym for like, you know, an hour every day, and then it's get too much, you know, that they can't squeeze it, and they, okay, like I'll do it tomorrow, and they drop it again. And I think exactly, like some people just look at the health habits as an effort, where it's doesn't actually need to be like such an effort. It could be easy and it could be pleasant, and sometimes it's literally just working out what you like doing. Yeah, like not everyone needs to go to the gym. I don't go to the gym. I don't like going to the gym. Yeah, I surf, I kite surf, I do circus, like I do crazy stuff, but I don't go to the gym, and I don't want to go to the gym because it's hell boring for me. So, and I think like it just realizing what you like and what you don't like. And, you know, the great example about, you know, the breath exercise. Breath exercise, like you can make it like 5 minutes, you can make it 3 minutes, you can make it 30 seconds. But if you do it like every day, that's, you know, it's 30 seconds per day, you know, it's whatever, 2.5 minutes per work week. You're already making these changes, and that's a way to look at this. And it doesn't need to feel like burden, it's need to feel like something to look for it. And I think, Kanika, you have a great graph here, you know, about these micro changes.
Yes, and you know, the credit for this goes to James Clear, and I think that everyone must have heard of Atomic Habits. It's really, you know, the idea of micro changes for me came by reading a lot of books, and one of them was this book, where if you made even 1% of your day better, you would be 37 times better at the end of the year. And 1% could just mean one simple micro change, like waking up in the morning and not having coffee or tea as the first thing you do, which is just delaying the dependence you have on caffeine first thing in the morning. Is just 1% better on that day. And you may be able to do it, you may not be able to do it, but then you try something else. And then you see which one sticks. But in the end, Yana, you have to think of everything we have said so far. You need to know the why, and the why is for you, it's for your family, it's for productivity, and for you to be a high performer. And then you need to know how to fit it in your calendar, and then you have to just make it holistic. You know, a lot of people get stuck in the rut of the gym, and I have said so many times, you know, I was, even when I just had started out, I used to say, there's no point going to the gym on 5 hours of sleep. You are actually you are unhealthy versus being healthy. I see so many people, you know, and you know, in corporate offices come to work and say, Meg just went to the gym and I slept like 5 hours last night. Don't go to the gym. Give yourself another 1 hour of sleep. You probably will be healthier with just a 30 minutes walk. So my point is, don't get stuck on the consumerization of fitness, but look for what works for you.
Yeah, definitely, Kanika. And Ashish is saying, love the micro change idea. Makes sense and easy to adopt. Guys, everyone who's still with us today, my question for you, like, you know, what's stopping you? You know, what's stopping you making these, you know, micro changes? Or I don't know, like would be great if someone share if they tried something and it didn't work, maybe, or you tried something and it did work. So yeah, so it would be great if you guys share some of your micro changes as well. So we would love to hear that, or your micro failures. Failures. So and coming back to coming back to this, yeah, just I guess keep reinforcing how important it is and how amazing these micro changes can affect your whole life. And to be honest, I use this like micro changes not only when it comes to my health. I'm use it like with everything, with some business ideas, with the I don't know, with the networking and things like this. Like I never overwhelm myself with like, oh my god, I need to meet like 30 people. I always think like, okay, yeah, I need to reach out to one person per day or something like this, and then it's become pleasant. So
Yeah.
the again, coming back to this micro changing and time management.
Yes, and you can also do something that I call temptation bundling. If you think that something is too difficult for you to do, you could combine it with something that you like doing. For example, I really like my chocolates. So I
Who
will make
doesn't?
I will make sure I treat myself when I feel that I have followed all the things that I wanted to do with my health, and give myself a chocolate. So you just have to figure out what works best for you. So health is really a very personal subject. When I got started, I used to tell everyone, oh, you should do strength training, oh, you should do meditation. I just realized that health is very personal. The choices you make are very personal, but the broad framework is what we, as people who are passionate or who claim to be have some sort of expertise, can do. We can give you a broad framework, and under that framework you can personalize what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Kanika, I just wanna I'm just cautious about the time, but we have one more comment from the group, and I think we already talked about it a little bit, but I guess to reinforce this question, the delivery timelines, is on the way of the group, way to health.
Yes.
So, so just kind of, I guess, let's talk about it a little bit more again.
Sure. No, so you have to break the delivery timelines into the timeline and the pressure, right? So the pressure is essentially your ability to handle stress that comes with a timeline, and you could follow any sort of way of calming your mind. It could just be breathing techniques. Jug group, a simple breathing technique is if you inhale for count of 6 and hold your breath for a count of 5, and exhale, which is the most important bit, for a count of 8. For a few cycles, you'll find yourself calmer than before. And I can go on different methods, and YouTube will have tons of videos. But you just need to work on, if you're in a delivery role, you just have to get better with managing that pressure for your mind. So that's like the mental aspect of it. And I'm telling you, 70% of the battle is a mental battle, because your ability to be able to push back on those timelines to do things that are important for you all comes from a mental perspective. And I've been in quarterly selling roles, and I have been in high pressure environments, and I can tell you that it gets insane. But you have to first work on your mind. Second, you have to work on your calendar. Like I said, when you know that your timelines are going to be crazy and your calendar looks all red, you just need to make sure you mark your minimums that keep you going. Because how will you deliver an efficient project on time if you fail in the process in your health? That's the only thing I will leave with you for today's call. Just break it down and try and keep it to minimums. Another micro change I can give you is, if you know you have a very busy delivery timeline. Not every day will be busy. So maybe there is a Monday where there are not too many meetings in the evening. Get an early dinner and get more sleep on that night. Now, that's being efficient with your calendar and making those quick micro changes that help you have a balance. One micro change or micro failure, I would really like everyone to know that I don't want you to make is a lot of people think eating healthy for 5 days. Oh, I just like stuck to basics and I just like binged like the whole weekend. It's a failure. It's a weak failure, right? So don't do that. I've seen a lot of people make that mistake. But if that works for your mind, please go ahead and do it. So I hope, Jagrup, I could break it down for you. And hopefully, I have two things that I am giving away today, and they can help you.
And Kanika, you were talking about the calendar just before, and I know that you've been also building this calendar.
Yes.
For your modern health startup. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Because I know it's not just a calendar, so it actually helps you to create these micro changes.
Correct. So it's a personalized calendar. And I just want to call out that the version that you see is not yet gone on production. So anyone who would like to try this, just feel free to reach out to Yana, and I will make sure that we can get one for you at no cost. And there's a minimal cost to it. It's like $4. But the point I was making is this has come out of a lot of experience for me working with people, where the calendar marks your lunch, water, and walk for you. And if you've not been able to have your lunch, it sends you an email as well as a text message, and it gives you options immediately of what you could do if you've not had lunch. It gives you a reminder to go for a walk, but just in case you weren't able to go for a walk, it can give you an exercise which you could do just sitting at home so that you can get your basic movement. So it personalizes based on your context. And most importantly, it crawls your calendar, and based on your schedule, it gives you one micro change every day, which you can do to make the most of your, to get the best productivity for that day. So, for example, Jagrup, if you had a very busy schedule, it would crawl your calendar and tell you to do like a quick breathing exercise and give you lots of options. The thing that we haven't yet fully rolled out is the ability to save your preferences and make sure that recommendations at all times. So I'll just leave it there. The idea is to help you find time for health in your calendar and make it so easy that it just becomes seamless, that, I forgot to have my lunch, but Modern Health planned my day and made sure that I was able to get something later. So that's really where I'm going with it. And I don't know, Yana, but I would, if you want me to talk about it, but you don't need to go with anything, and you could probably just read my book or read tons of videos that are available on YouTube, which all talk about this. The concept of how to be healthy, honestly, is available. When I started out, I thought I'm the most innovative person. Only I know what it takes to be healthy. But I was proven wrong many times. There are so many people who are doing the same thing that I am doing in a different way, in a different style, but the framework remains the same for everyone.
Yeah. And I think, I guess the important thing, it's personalizing it for everyone. And I think why a lot of, these programs fail, again, as we were talking in the beginning, because everyone needs to do their own micro changes, and what's pleasant for one person might be boring or not interesting for another one. And personalizing it for yourself, it's make it more exciting for you. I think Ashish shared with us one of his micro changes, My macro change, I started doing 10-15 minutes of play with my dog twice a day. Helped me refresh up and save me time from going outside too. Must it make my dog happy too? Perfect. It's like a win-win situation. And it's kind of animal therapy on top of it, because it's give you this connection and stuff, and makes the dog happy. That's
The question would be, Ashish, would you be able to do it if there is a delivery timeline?
is it blocked in your calendar?
Yeah.
Do you block these 10 minutes for your dog, or at least maybe your calendar can suggest you sometimes where you can put it in. And the group has a comment as well. My bad that I joined the session late. It's raining in Sydney and I'm sitting in room still doing some deployment. I will try this micro change in my schedule. Thank you, Kanika and Jana, for suggestion. Here we go. Make sure you do brief exercise after your deployment.
Yeah,
the group, and we're watching.
And Jagrup, I say this to everyone. I started my health journey because I felt that the world needed more of Kanikas. So just reach out if you ever wanted more ideas, and I'm happy to share time with you.
Perfect. Thank you, Kanika. And I'm cautious about the time. We only have like 5 minutes of the stream. Do you want to just briefly tell us, the best way to reach out to you, and I think I posted a link to your website in the comments. Just tell us a little bit briefly best way to connect with you.
Yeah, that's my that's my contact details over here. You could find me on LinkedIn. I'm on this journey again of building this product. If you have any suggestions or ideas, or if you felt what I was doing could enrich your life, feel free to reach out and we can connect and talk. As Jana already mentioned, my book is available on Amazon. If you like reading transformation stories, then please do read the book. And I think Jana is giving away a book as well. So
you're giving away the book. So you think about who's the lucky winner today. You think about that while I just do quick announcement for next week.
Sure.
So while Kanika going through the comments, I just want to quickly remind you that we're obviously going live every Wednesday. So next Wednesday, completely different topic, I guess. We're going to talk with Jay, and we're going to talk about narrowing the gender gap in cybersecurity. We actually haven't talked about cybersecurity on my live streams at all. So I'm really excited to have Jay over next Wednesday. So we're going to talk about the industry, and I guess, the few ways how to attract more women into the industry. So that's next week on Wednesday. And I'm back to Kanika, and Kanika gonna, pick the lucky winner.
I guess based on the number of comments, Ashish deserves the book. So we'll probably give the prize to Ashish. Congratulations, Ashish. You can collect the book from me or Jana, and either of us will be very happy to meet you.
I guess it's a good reason to catch up for coffee. I think we should, make more face-to-face connections. So Ashish will talk with you offline. So let's reconnect, and then Kanika can, share the book with you. And Jakub, feel free also to reach out to Kanika with some, micro changes questions, and I'm sure Kanika will be more than happy to give you a few suggestions.
Yes, Jana, thanks for having me. Thanks everyone. I know it gets hard, especially when it's so cold, to stay on a long call like this. So appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much, Kanika. And guys, obviously, if you enjoy our discussion, if you feel like you get value from today's conversation, I always encourage you to like this video. Please make sure to like this video. It encourages me to keep going and keep bringing various experts from my network to share their knowledge. So again, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and meetup group so you can get some notifications. So thank you so much again, everyone, to join us. We have 5 seconds left of our live stream. Thank you so much, Kanika, and
Thanks,
I'll
Yana.
see everyone next week. Thank you. See you.